We're live.
So we are.
Interesting,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it?
Yes.
There were so many of us last week.
Are you ready for this? Morning, everybody. I think it's time. Why not?
We have 1 minute.
I'm looking at this clock. This is a Greenwich Mean Time here. Welcome to Unity. We're going to do our normal We're Unity song, so please join us.
We're unity. We come to see the God in you and in me. We feel the love that we're worthy of, around in and out and above. We come to connect with our light that shines like the sun rising high in the sky so divine. We're unity. Yes, we're unity. We build a bridge instead of a wall, extending a hand to those who fall. We meditate and seek to release the feelings that block our own peace. We come to connect with our light that shines like the sun rising high in the sky so divine. We're unity. Yes, we're unity. We're unity. Yes, we're unity.
Okay, good morning, good morning. I'm just pulling up the Facebook feed so that I can see who's joining us online today. All right, here we go. All right, we have other folks joining us. We are suggesting face masks today for those of you who are just walking in. Well, there's another box underneath. Hello, everybody. Give me a second, those of you who are online. Jerry, I'm a little loud. We have another box underneath the welcome podium. Yep. All All right, so if you are just joining us online, and of course you in the room already know it, we have had a little bit of a COVID outbreak in our community. We have COVID in our choir and a couple of board members, so we're strongly suggesting masks today. And when I am not on the podium, I will be wearing a mask as well, and some social distancing today. So, welcome. With all that, welcome. So glad you're here this morning, and I'm so glad you're online with us. Always, we have our Joyful Noise band and choir, all four of them today. And you'll see them online. The online folks will see them in a little while. And special music today is featuring Jen Erickson. Thank you, Jen, for stepping up. It wasn't her regular day. Okay, for those of you who are on YouTube and Facebook, good morning, YouTube folks. Good morning to Ellen and to Phil and Jess and to Lana and everybody else who is on YouTube. And we'll see who's on Facebook this morning. Judy Gaskin. Judy, you got to look at last week's lesson. I talked about you. And Julia and Rini, good morning. Pat and Johanna, good morning. And anybody else who will be joining us later or that I can't see online, good morning. Glad you're here. I don't know if there's anybody in here for the first time this morning. Is there anybody in the room here for the first time this morning? I didn't think so. If you are online with us for the first time, or if you are going to look at this lesson or this service at another time, and you would like a welcome packet, please email our admin, May, at admin@unityofstewart.org, and she would be happy to send you a welcome packet if you give her your name and address. She'll be happy to send you. Jerry, I'm hearing a little bit of feedback, and that must be me since I'm the only one speaking. So, we have, today's potluck Sunday, so there's lots of food in the kitchen this morning. Do with that what you will. You could take a plate and go outside and social distance outside if you like some lunch. That's what I'm going to do. For those of you who are in the room, if you'd like to share a welcome packet with a friend, please take one on your way out. Take one or two or whatever you like on the way out so you can share our community with them. We do have prayer chaplains, and our prayer chaplain today is Amy Neff, and she is ready to socially distantly hold you in prayer today. If you would like some personal prayer, I invite you to see Amy after service. She'll be in the sanctuary, and she, of course, will be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. If you have online watching or anybody in the room, if you'd like to send in a prayer intention, you can email prayer@unityofstewart.org or call our mothership, Silent Unity Prayer Line, at the number right there, 816-969-2000. I don't think the slides are going out to you today, those of you who are online. Thank you for your patience and for your love, as that doesn't happen today. All right, so our announcements are coming up. Everybody will be healthy for Christmas Eve, and we will be here on December 24th at 5:30 to share with you our Christmas Eve service in story and song. And, of course, we will have our Joyful Noise Band and choir, and joined by our Christmas choir folks. And Sophia Campbell, Denny Campbell will also be with us for that evening. And so Christmas Eve at 5:30. If you're watching online and you are going to stay online to join us for the candle lighting service, I invite you to get a candle ready so that when the time comes to shine your light, you are ready to do that. And that brings us to our next special service, and that, of course, is our New Year's Eve Burning Bowl service. This is where we get a chance to write down what we'd like to release from 2022 and then write another letter that invites in what we'd like to invite in 2023. And we burn those letters in the burning chimenea outside on Christmas Eve. And that service, of course, starts at 5:30. And for those of you online, you can prepare yourself for that by, you could get a paper and a pencil and for both activities. And you can rip it up and throw it in the trash. You can have your own outside fire pit, or you can dispose of it in whatever way you feel is needed. So come get ready for that and join us on December 31st. We have a decorated Christmas tree at the Carnival of Lights at the Martin County Fairgrounds. We invite you to go see that, and there's lots of other things going on at the fairgrounds up until December 18th in the evening, and so we just invite you to go take a look at that and visit our tree and have fun there. So, this is the second Sunday in Advent, and today our Advent theme is peace. And so, knowing that peace flows from our awareness of divine presence, the divine presence that is in, through, and as each one of us, I invite you to please join me in dedicating today's service to practicing peace in the present moment. I light 3 candles. The first is the Christ candle. The second is last week's candle for faith and hope. And today's candle for peace. Centered in God, I am a peaceful presence. Centered in God, I am a peaceful presence. Stepping away from the busyness of holiday preparations and the important work that must be completed before year's end, I continue my Advent journey by practicing peace in the present moment wherever I am. I am gracious with store clerks and servers in restaurants. I add positive, peaceful thoughts to conversations. When I'm traveling, I bless other drivers with whom I share the road and my fellow passengers on public transportation. Peace flows from that place in consciousness where God's presence fills my awareness. I need not find a quiet corner. When I am willing, anywhere can be a peaceful sanctuary. The peace of God refreshes me and goes with me as I return to the activities of the day. Wherever I go, whatever I'm doing, I am a peaceful presence. And I invite you to take a deep breath with me as we settle in to this time of peace, of being here in the presence and power of peace, of love, of faith, of hope. Knowing that that power and the presence is within us and all around us, and we are blessed. And I invite you to join me in our affirmation. Together. Centered in God, I am a peaceful presence. And let us take that deep breath. Anchoring in this affirmation as we affirm one more time together. Centered in God, I am a peaceful presence. So it is. And let's sing.
You will hear the Lord.
if it feels good to you, I invite you to take 3 deep, conscious breaths. Allowing your shoulders to drop. Dropping your attention from your head to your heart. Letting your body relax as fully as you are able. And be here now, in the presence and power of love, in the presence and power of peace. Divine light, divine love, divine peace, divine wholeness moves in and through us now. As we come to complete physical and spiritual rest. We let go and we become still. Immersed in the oneness with all creation. Here and now, we become ever more aware of that Christ presence, the divine light of the Christ, the one who sits in the center and knows. With each breath, our attention shifts deeper, inward, Godward. And we open our hearts, our minds, every atom of our being to the Christ emerging during this season of light. Christ is born anew. Christ consciousness is born anew in us. We awaken to our Christ nature of peace, of light, of love, faith. And we honor all life, all beings. Just as a sleeping babe rests in blissful comfort, we abide in the peace that passes all understanding. This peace flows from the depths of our souls. And we are at peace, cradled in the arms of love. In the stillness of deep peace, Christ is born. Every cell of our body aligns with the peace of the Christ. Every cell in our bodies align with the peace of the Christ. In the quiet. And in this sacred space of peace, of light, of love, I invite us to bring into our awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stewart, and all of those that are in our minds and hearts this morning. Seeing each one lifted up in wholeness and comfort and strength. Knowing that all the crooked paths will be made straight and all is working together for good. And we speak names, situations out into this holy space. And turning our prayers over into the care and keeping of divine love, please join me in praying this in the name and the nature and the light and in the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. And let's sing.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Our Mother who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Forgive us our trespasses. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Oh Lord, leave us not in temptation, and save us from ever. And the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever will be yours. Our Mother who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
She's nervous again.
Hello.
She's nervous again.
Black Betty.
I was really nervous last week. Now the pressure's on. I'm even more nervous. But I can do this for you all. Piece of cake. I just got to find where I put the song. Coffee House. I probably do have it memorized. Oh, yeah. All right. to send thee one by one for the itty bitty baby, wrapped in swaddling clothing, lying in a manger. He was born, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? Well, I'm gonna send thee 2 by 2, 2 for Paul and Silas, 1 for the itty bitty baby, wrapped in swaddling clothing, lying in a manger. He was born, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? Well, I'm gonna send thee 3 by 3, 3 for the Hebrew children, 2 for Paul and Silas, 1 for the itty bitty baby, wrapped in swaddling clothing, lying in a manger. He was born, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? Well, I'm gonna send you 4 by 4, 4 for the phone knocking at my door, 3 for the Hebrew children, 2 for Paul and Silas, 1 for the itty bitty baby, wrapped in swaddling clothing, lying in a manger. He was born, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? Well, I'm gonna send thee 5 by 5, 5 for the gospel preachers, 4 for the poor knocking at my door, 3 for the Hebrew children, 2 for Paul and Silas, 1 for the itty bitty baby, wrapped in swaddling clothing, lying in a manger. He was born, born in Bethlehem. He was born, born in Bethlehem. He was born, born in Bethlehem. Thank you again.
Back for a minute. Break. And so we are requesting masks today. And I also wanted to remind everybody in the room that we do have a special filtration system in the air conditioning in here. So just so you know if that adds any peace to your heart this morning. So, for those of you who have been paying attention, if you read the newsletter, if you look at the bulletin, you'll notice that for the whole month of December, I had planned to do a series on the movie What a Wonderful Life. So here's what happened. I had these notes for a series in December on It's a Wonderful Life for years, close to a decade, and I've never done the series. And so as I prepared during the week, and then Friday came around, which is usually the start of my intense preparation for this. And I said, you know what? I haven't watched the movie in a long time. So let me watch the movie. So here's what happened. The first thing I noticed in almost the opening scene, after the angels were talking, was the casual sexism in the movie. Really casual, rife with misogyny and sexism in the beginning of the movie. And I'm like, okay, I'm a woman. If I can get past that, maybe do a little disclaimer in the beginning, I can, continue to teach from the movie. And then as I watched it a little bit more, Bailey, George Bailey, Jimmy Stewart is our hero. In the Bailey household, they have a black housekeeper. And I couldn't get past the casual racism. I couldn't get past it. And if you want to watch the first 20, 25 minutes of the movie, you'll know exactly what I meant. And so I'm sitting there, I'm going, okay, I have this whole series planned out for the month. And, so here's what I did to try to twist myself into a pretzel to try to continue with this series that I had planned and which I had lesson outlines for the month. Oh, let me see what other people are saying about this movie. I didn't ask any of my colleagues. I went online, looked for reviews and critiques, and I found all the ones that mentioned what I was speaking about. I even went so far as to look for black critics and see what black people said about it and didn't find anything. So I just decided to give it up. There are some good metaphysical lessons in that movie. The first one, and the only one that I really saw that I liked, is that in the very beginning, people are praying for George Bailey. And the angels are having a discussion about, we better do something about this because there's lots of people praying. Now, we know that God doesn't do that, right? There is no God out there that listens to prayers and says, you get your prayer answered, you don't get your prayer answered. None of that happens. And yet I thought there was a good metaphysical lesson in that. But that was all I let myself see. So that's why our new series is called Deck the Halls. And today we are decking the halls of our heart. So that's the explanation. So I'm going to take a breath and move on. So we're decking the halls, right? It's funny, I've lived in Florida for over 7 years, and it still takes a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Of imagination. Thank you. It's a little bit of imagination to remember that it's Christmas, right? Because being from the Northeast, I'm used to being cold. I'm used to get a little bit of dusting of snow sometimes, and all of the evergreens and all of that. So it takes, and so still, I deck the halls. I have a little Christmas tree, and I have some lights outside my house, and as many of you do. So we are decking the halls, right? Everywhere we look, we've decked our own halls here at Unity of Stewart. And so everything out there is getting lit up, right? And bedecked and bejeweled, encouraging us to be merry and bright, right? Encouraging us to be bedecked. You see the choir, we do this, the band and the choir and me, during the month of December, we dress in red and black and white, or, sometimes all of it at once, because we want to be part of that merriness and brightness. However, the question I have for us is not, well, do we all always feel merry and bright during the holiday season? Perhaps yes for some of us, and perhaps not so much for some of us. In fact, for some of us, there's a time the holidays bring sadness and grief. For many of us, this will be the first Christmas without a beloved spouse or partner or parent or friend, and my heart and love go out to you. I have something like that in my family as well. Perhaps during this time there are old memories, old hurts and challenges that come up during this time that keep you from feeling the holiday spirit. Whatever it is, I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay. Yes, we are an upbeat, uplifting spiritual community. We believe in the goodness of life. We believe in the goodness of people. We believe in our birthright to experience peace, love, joy at all times and during the holidays. I love Advent because it's a time for me personally to really go within in a different way than I do every year and prepare myself for the rebirth of the Christ in me at Christmas. So, even when we don't feel upbeat or rah-rah, yay Christmas, even if we don't always feel the joy, the love, the peace, the abundance, even if sometimes we feel just simply alone, I want you to know that I'm standing here to support you. Amy, our chaplain coordinator, our team lead, and our chaplains are here to hold us in prayer. And if you need any extra support during this season, we are here. We are here to support you and to love you through it. So please bring it all here, not just goodness and light, not just merriment. Bring it all here for healing during the holiday season. So let's talk about those feelings that we might have sometimes during the season. And not to say that we can't be merry and bright or be decked and bejeweled even on every second day or every third day and still feel those feelings that we might have. My very favorite poem written by, and you've heard me share this before, the poet Rumi. It's entitled The Guest House. It speaks to what I want to talk about a little bit this morning. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. It may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So, I want to look at a few key elements from that passage, and then I'll share a couple of practical ideas that might help us be a little bit more merry and bright, or a little bit more bedecked this holiday season. First, in dealing with our emotions, the first step is awareness, not denial. We don't want to do what we call in New Thought movements a spiritual bypass, which means having the feeling and then completely wiping it away and not giving it its due because we don't think we should feel that way. I remember Pema Chodron, one of my favorite Buddhist teachers, says everything in front of you is for you. Everything, I'm paraphrasing, everything in front of you is your path to transformation. every single thing, which is why we could welcome them in the door laughing. So, when we have the emotion, we identify the emotion, right? So this is my process. When I have the emotion and I don't rightly know where it's from, if it's not an immediate thing that happened, I'll go within, I'll breathe, and I'll go, okay, what's going on for me? I'm pointing to my stomach because that's where it usually comes for me. Okay, so I think about that feeling and I'll say to myself, okay, what's going on here? Why am I feeling this way? And then wait. And then it'll come. Oh, okay. And then what? Identify the emotion. Don't deny it. You notice I said identify. I identify the emotion. I don't identify with it. Right? This emotion is not who I am. I am a person having an emotion. It's not who I am. So, identify it, don't identify with it. I love that idea. So when you become aware of that emotion, we treat it as an honored guest because it's there for us to give us some insight and some wisdom. We welcome it and we don't let it take up residence. There's a difference between honoring it and wallowing in it. Right? We identify it, we don't let it come into the house. We let it in the house, but we don't let it take up residence. We respect it, we honor it. We be kind and compassionate with it, with ourselves and to it, but we don't let it run amok. And let it know that as a guest in your home, it'll be expected to follow some rules. It does not take charge of your life. Think about it. If you had house guests who had wild parties every night, and you were trying to sleep, or your neighbors complained, it wouldn't be acceptable for you to say to your neighbor, I can't help it. My rowdy house guests made me invite all their friends, and I can't do anything about it. I have no control over them. We would not say that, right? We are responsible for what goes on in our homes, yes? Likewise, we are responsible for our own inner world. We are responsible. I feel like I beat this drum a lot, and you know what they say, you teach best what you most need to learn. That when I have a feeling, honor that feeling without trying to make it somebody else's fault. Right? I am responsible for my feelings. You are responsible for your feelings. Honor your emotion guests without letting them take over. You are not the victim of them. You are their gracious host. And in truth, those emotions, if emotions had feelings, they wouldn't like having the run of the place. Because once we let that run amok, what happens? It gets bigger and gets louder and more chaotic. So they need house rules, and only we can provide them. So, and they're here for a reason. And they may become unruly because there was no one to tell them that even though they were honored guests, they're not in charge. Their inputs are valid, but all final decisions are made by the owner, namely you. So, you can ask those emotion guests some questions. Where do you come from? What is your intention? How can I help you become more comfortable? What am I to gain from your presence? Put another way, how is your presence going to bless me? Where do you come from? What is your intention? How can I make you more comfortable? And what's in it for me? What am I to gain from your presence? And those emotions will respond, as long as we're being anthropomorphic about it, they'll respond with gratitude. And as you get to know them, and as they understand that you are in charge, they will begin to quiet down. And you'll be able to satisfy some of the needs of your emotion guests. And you'll also be surprised at what they have to share with you. Emotions are here to serve us. The feelings that we get are here to serve us if we let them. Each one, as Rumi said, has been sent as a guide from beyond. And in all of this, I want to remind you of something, that the power and the presence of Spirit, of the divine infinite, of higher power, of God, whatever it is you call it, it is always present. Even when it doesn't feel like it's present, it's always present. No matter what, we carry that presence. We may try to ignore it. We may feel like it's not here, and it is. It's the light that is what we are made of. So, what is it that will support you when you're feeling some emotion, in treating your emotions as honored guest? What will help is to realize that God is bigger than this. God is bigger than this. Spirit is bigger than this in every single situation. In his book, How Then Shall We Live, Wayne Muller shares a quote from a Quaker writer. Deep within us, there is an amazing inner sanctuary of the soul, a holy place, a divine center, a speaking voice to which we may continuously return. Eternity is at our hearts, pressing upon our time-torn lives, warming us with intimations of an astounding destiny, calling us home. Yielding to this, gladly committing ourselves in body and soul utterly and completely to the light within, is the beginning of true life. It is a dynamic center, a creative life that presses to birth within us. And I talked in the beginning about loving Advent. And one of the reasons that I love Advent and why I feel like it's a powerful time of transformation in my life is that there are many people in the Christian world who are doing exactly what we're doing, is preparing for the birth. Now, some people will prepare for just the physical birth, right? And think about it only in terms of a sacrifice, that somebody was born as a sacrifice for us. Here in New Thought, in many progressive Christian communities, we see it as the birth of the Christ consciousness in us. And however we see that, there are many millions of people in this same sacred space right now in preparing for the birth. It's a powerful, powerful time. So, do what we need to do. Do what you need to do. Feel your emotions and welcome them and pay them some attention and remind them who the boss is, who is the owner, who is the host. So, a couple of things to help. Be okay with crying. Be okay with shedding some tears. I was watching, what's that movie? It's a Wonderful Life. Not that. That just aggravated me. It didn't make me cry. I was watching something else, and I can't remember what it is right now, some Christmas movie, somewhere. And I was just watching it, and I didn't have any thoughts, and all of a sudden tears were there. All of a sudden tears were there, and I'm like, the first thing that happened was I going, what's going on here? Why are you crying? And then I decided, I don't know, there's some emotion here, something that's on the screen, had something to do with family, maybe something to do with a child. I don't really remember. But I just let myself cry. I said, okay, my body wants to cry, my emotions want to cry, and I was alone, but I'm not going to be embarrassed about crying when an emotion comes up. So cry if you need to cry. And then turn to what you know to be true, that the power and the presence of God is right here, right now, with you, with me. That tears and a sad feeling don't mean that I'm anything less than the brightest light. It means that I'm a human being. It means that you're a human being. And it's funny that I'll be sharing this today when we're wearing masks in the sanctuary, is get an ample amount of hugs, not today, not here, but with your loved ones, with someone who will hug you right now, today. Get some hugs. Again, shed some tears. You know, I heard a therapist once say, no one has ever died from crying, but people have died from not crying. If you need a good cry, have at it. And turn to your faith, that one presence, that one power that is always present. Here's a story about hugging. There was a father who decided to try the hug it out method. His small son was having a temper tantrum. The father got down on one knee and shouted, "I need a hug." And his son asked her with sobs, "What?" And the father shouted again, "I need a hug." And his son asked incredulously, "Now? When I'm sobbing and crying, you need a hug?" And the father said, "Yes, now." And the son said, "Okay," and begrudgingly and stiffly gave his father a hug. And soon the stiffness disappeared, and they melted into each other's arms. After a few moments, the father said, "Thanks, I needed that." And the son, with a small tremor on his lips, said, "Yeah, so did I. So did I." So, in this holy season, allow yourself to be who you are. Allow yourself to be merry and bright, to be bedecked and bejeweled, to deck the halls of your heart. And also allow yourself to feel the emotions without judging yourself. Interrogate the emotions and allow it. And that is the path to transformation. And that helps the Christ presence that is being reborn in us in this season, a safe passage through our hearts for what we call good and what we call challenging. Christ consciousness is always there, with power, with faith, and with divine love. And I claim this truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. And it is time for the celebration of abundance. Now, we only have Ricky today, who is dealing with, oh no, Jerry's going to come out from the booth and, we have Marge and Tom too.
Okay.
All right, so we're good. People show up to help, don't they? Here are the ways you can give to Unity of Stewart, whether you're in the sanctuary, whether you are online. Online, you'll see all the ways to give to Unity of Stewart in the comments. And as you are preparing your gift or giving your gift, I invite you to stand on the foundation of unity, to stand on the foundation of the presence, the power, and the abundance of Spirit that moves in and through each one of us and moves in and through our ministry, blessing each one of us, blessing the community, blessing our city, our state, and the world. And thank you. Thank you for your love offerings, your tithes and gifts. Thank you to our consistent givers. Let's affirm our prosperity prayer and our love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all the needs of Unity of Stewart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met from every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected. Our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. And let's sing our gratitude.
We all give our gratitude and give thanks for the multitude of blessings given every day to help us all along the way. We give thanks for a chance to give our gifts and for the lives we live in all the mercies from above that fill our hearts with grace and love.
have some other announcements. As always, Cheryl Roby is on Facebook on Tuesday mornings at 10 for a live meditation. We invite you to join her, especially in this season. If you need a deep breath in the middle of the week, Cheryl's the place to go. And coming up is our Christmas Coffee House concert. That is on Thursday, December 15th, and the doors open at 6:30. Show begins at 7. Tickets are $10, and they are for sale out in the foyer after the service. And along with that, we are collecting at the Christmas Coffee House, and on Sundays up until the 15th, we are collecting gift cards and cash for Safe Space Shelter this Christmas. There's, I want to say there are 11 children or 12 children that your gifts will purchase Christmas presents for this year who will be residing at Safe Space. So we invite you to donate to Blessed Families. Also at the Christmas Coffee House, we're having door prizes, and if you or someone you know or a place that you frequent would like to donate a gift certificate, we invite you to make that happen and let us know. I think that's it for that. And did anybody hear any children? It's early, so they might not be ready. Thank you, Amy.
They do that.
Amy's going to go check. Oh, candlelighters. While Amy's checking about the kiddos, I haven't looked at the sign-up sheet, but on Christmas Eve, we do have our Christmas candle lighting, and we have a part for you if you'd like to be a candle lighter, which is a non-speaking part. It's very easy. You have to get here about 15 minutes early, and I'll run you through it. It's very easy, and you can sign up on the information table as you're leaving today. Okay. There's 4? Okay. So we need at least 7. So if that's something that you'd like to do, please sign up for that. Do we have kiddos out there? I think I see. Yes? Yes? Okay, let's stand and sing the kiddos in.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light of God.
All right. Hello, hello. Come a little close. Well, you stay right where you are. Hey, you can be seated. How are we doing? What do we got there? Did you want to tell us, Hannah? You know, she doesn't want to tell us. Who's going to? Okay, Nova.
His name is Frankie.
Frankie. His name is Frankie.
And we made a person
Okay. And why did you make a person, Nova?
because I just forgot.
Okay. Maybe Mama wants to tell us.
So our lesson today was about the differences and how we all have differences and being inclusive, and we're all one. So everyone drew a different part of their body, and then we cut them out and taped them all together to create one human shape-ish. So it looks a very interesting shape, but it was a really fun activity. We had fun with it. So
Great.
yeah.
I love that idea. There's only one of us, a saying in Nutha, there's only one of us in the mind of God. You know, we only think we're separate, and there's only one of us. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, so you can see on the slide that next, I forgot the N in and, is Santa Sunday. Are we going to have Santa? You put in the order? Okay. So it looks like I'm off, Jerry, all of a sudden. I think I died. I think the battery's going. Is that next week? No, that's December 18th. Santa Sunday and YFM cookie sale. So if you, good Lord. I took off my ear thing. Bear with me, please. Hello? Okay, here we go. If you would like to donate cookies for the cookie sale or make some Christmas cookies, if you would like to help in the kitchen, please see Jen, and she'll be more than happy to take your offer, whatever it is. Oh, is that it? That's it. It's birthday. It's birthday Sunday. Oh, look, wait. We have people in the sanctuary today whose birthday it is this month. We have Don and we have Mike. Is there anybody else? Hannah. We have Hannah. We have Jen's wife, Stacy. I think Johanna is online. And Maggie, are you here today? No. All right. Yeah. Are you up there, Amy? Oh, Amy, you must not have given us your birth dates. Amy, when's your birthday? December 30th, like Mike. All right, let's sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
Hey. All right. And before we close with our children's blessing and all the other things we do, I just invite you to keep in your prayers everyone in Joyful Noise who is not feeling well today. Everybody who is having a healing challenge, whether it is emotional, physical, or mental, we hold them in our prayers in this season and seeing them each lifted up in love and peace and joy and strength and in wholeness. And so it is. And let's stand as we bless our kiddos.
Love you, we bless you, we truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The presence of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. So it is. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Go ahead, This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine.